Hello, Alonzo. This is Kelly Hughes. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you, brother?
Hey, I'm great. I've been looking on your website and some of your YouTube videos and learning a little bit about you and kind of getting excited about the release of your song, which is called Your Medicine.
Yes, sir. That's my debut single. I am so excited.
Hey, we're going to talk a lot about that, but first I want to give the listeners some background on you. You started out
Okay.
dancing before you got into the singing, and you even got as far as the semifinals on America's Got Talent with a dance troupe that you created. Can you just get us up to speed on your dance background?
So dance is what my mother would call my first gift. And I guess it was the first gift that we discovered I had. And I danced for as long as I can remember. And I grew up just dancing in front of the family, and I put on performances on the holidays and teach my cousins and my little brother dances. And then as I got older, I started to take it more serious, and I think it was my sophomore year in high school that I started a dance crew by the name of Fatally Unique, and I took that dance team on a few other TV shows before America's Got Talent. 106 in Park on BET was one of them, and America's Got Talent seen us on BET, and they reached out to us, and took them to America's Got Talent in 2011.
Well, that's quite an accomplishment. I was wondering because, a big part of your story, too, is you were touring with the estate of Prince, and I guess it was called the For You Symphony Tour. Is that something where you combined the dance with your singing? Did you do both in that?
No, I did not dance on the Prince tour. I actually, it was a symphony tour, so it was with an orchestra. And so it was pretty, I'd say probably one of the toughest jobs I've ever had to do because it was a really strict, very strict structure as far as being with an orchestra and what is appropriate, and most importantly, having the Prince estate involved just put all the pressure in the world on me, considering I was the first singer that they ever allowed to tour with this particular tour. So, that was a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm. Well, it seems like, I've been reading, like I said, up on your website and your YouTube videos. And one thing I wanted to dive in was your Free of Fear movement. I think that really touched me. And it sounds like you've been very open to your fans on YouTube about, you're very motivated, but you're also kind of vulnerable. And, it's not always an easy road to get where you want to get. And it sounds like, you might be frustrated one day and the next day you're touring with a symphony. So it sounds like, you kind of share the highs and the lows with your fans.
Yeah, and it's so true. I mean, a lot of times, people only see the highs because that's what social media is all about. We never post the ugly photo or the ugly video. But what I've learned is that people, they're not interested in that fake stuff. They want people that they can identify with and that they can connect to, and that is one thing that I appreciate with the relationship that I have with my fans, is that they know that I am real and that I am accessible. And even at my shows, I'm on stage asking them how they're doing and if they need anything. And that's just how I roll.
What are your shows like? I mean, it sounds like, from the videos I've seen, they're very intimate, even though you have, an upbeat presence. It sounds like you do like acoustic ballad type things, as well. And it seems like you really connect with your ballads with your audience.
Yeah, recently, I'd say in the last year in Los Angeles, I've done a lot of more intimate shows. And it is something that I really love to do because I love connecting to the hearts of people. And you know, allowing people to feel their emotions. And I mean, like, my favorite thing in the world is when, like, a big old macho tough guy comes up to me after the show and he's like, dude, I haven't cried in years, but thank you. You know, like, that is amazing. But on the flip side of that, you know, now that I have my original music coming out, a lot of it is upbeat as well, and I'm finally going to be able to merge the worlds between all of my ballads and being able to dance to some stuff too.
Nice. Well, it sounds like it'd be really cool if you did like a dance-oriented single. You could incorporate dance into that.
Oh, dude, that is that is Your Medicine. Your Medicine has like a solo dance break, like smack in the middle of the dance video. So it's going to be dope.
Now, have you planned the video for it?
Yeah, we shot the video. We shot the video about a month ago, and the video is actually going to release on the same day that the song releases, on July 31st.
Okay, July 31st. So I know on July 31st they can get it on iTunes. Is this gonna the video released on YouTube?
Yeah, so the video will come out on the same day as the song. Right now we're actually doing the pre-order, and the pre-order is really, really important for the single right now, especially for a new artist, because the more pre-orders I get, the better chance I have at charting on the day that the song releases. So if anyone wants to get that pre-order, they can just go to the top of my Instagram, @StoryOfAlonzo, and there's a link right there. And then they can pre-order it for 99 cents on iTunes. And then for anyone that doesn't have, you know, Apple or iTunes, it will release on all streaming platforms on the 31st. And then, yep, the video will be on YouTube.
Then this is a direct, I won't say order, but a direct invitation to pre-order Your Medicine, because that would be exciting if the day it came out you were charting right off the bat.
Oh,
wouldn't that be amazing?
Man, that is the biggest goal. And it's pretty, I mean, the thing is that a lot of people don't understand how the system works. And when you have, like, say that you have a pre-order set up for like a month before you release the song, and I got like 1,000 pre-orders. On the day that the song comes out, all of those downloads come in on the same exact day, and it just shoots you up the charts. And even if I'm not at the top of the charts for a long time, it's still, as a debut artist, you know, people are like, who the heck is this and where did he come from? But we got to get those pre-orders to make that happen.
Well, I'd really admire that you're very proactive, because it seems like to make it in the music industry nowadays, you have to hit it from all the angles. And one thing I especially like is you do what I see other artists do, is you do cover songs of some of your favorite songs by other artists, and sometimes those actually get a lot of traffic.
Yes. That's literally been what my career has been built on, is singing covers, to be honest.
Now, what are some of your favorites that you've covered? I know you did. Well, my favorite, I'll just say, it was your cover of Rosala's "Everybody's Free."
Oh man, yeah, that's a good one. Actually, that's my highest viewed video on YouTube, and it is probably the cover that everyone knows me for. So that, I agree with you there. That's like my favorite too.
Well, I thought it was so funny because, I mean, I remember when that song first came out, like in the early 90s. I mean, were you even born when that first came out?
You know, I wasn't, and I was exposed to that song when it was, I can't remember his name. It was a little boy singing it in Romeo and Juliet with the choir. And then when I did it, there was a DJ in Switzerland that reached out to me, and they did a dance remix of it. This was like, I'd say about 2 years ago, and we actually went to like the top 20 on the Switzerland pop charts. Of like a dance version of that song. And you know that's like a ballad. So that,
right, because
like,
you
dance
took the
version,
original, you took the dance version of Rosala, brought it down to a more acoustic ballad. Then it got remixed. It's almost very meta.
Into like an EDM.
EDM. Well, I bet. Do you know if Rosala's heard it?
I don't know. I would love if she has, though. That would be amazing. But no, I don't know. But the guy that inspired me, darn it, what is his name? Anyway, the guy that sang it in Romeo and Juliet, the little boy, he's, of course, an adult now. But he reached out to me and told me that it was the best cover he's ever seen, so that was amazing.
Wow. Well, another thing I like about that is it seems a lot of people of your generation are embracing the 90s, which had a lot of really good, I guess, earlier EDM, but a lot of good up-tempo dance music. Is that something that's influenced you, is the dance music of the 90s?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm a 90s baby myself. I was born in 91. And I always tell people if you were born like us that was born like from 90 to 95, we're like the last hope because, people started going cuckoo like right after 96 into technology and things. And I think that my generation is like the last hope because we literally we remember how the world used to be, and we are very familiar with where it is now and where it's going. Opposed to the kids that's being born today, they'll never know how the world used to be. And then the people that were before us, they're kind of stuck and lost trying to catch up. So, we are smack dab in the middle.
So it sounds like you have a real mission with the new generation. It's like free the fear. Free the fear, and so one thing I'm curious too is, you had this great quote by Erykah Badu on your site. Do you remember what that was? It was art is the absence of fear.
Art is yes.
Which ties into your, I guess, hashtag free of fear. But is Erykah Badu one of your idols? I mean, who are the people you look to, either contemporary or the generation before you? What artists inspired you with both their music, but also with their message?
You know what? Erykah Badu is a perfect example because she is an artist that leads free of fear. And I think being free of fear can be scary because you really challenge people and the things that they are used to. And, there are so many artists that inspire me. I mean, Fantasia Barrino is a big one. I don't know if you know of her, but she was a winner of American Idol a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and she's gone on to do amazing things, but she really inspires me. And then just in general, I am so inspired by all of the old soulful women that basically this whole business stands on the shoulders of. And that's like Aretha Franklin and Patti LaBelle and Tina Turner and Whitney Houston and all of these powerhouse vocalist women that, really have gone down in history.
Right. Well, out of the ones who are still with us, which of these divas would you most want to collaborate with? Tina Turner's still alive.
Yeah, I would be too scared to collaborate with the diva, the legends. I'm like literally, I just fall to the ground in their presence. But I'd say some of my other favorites are like the women, the younger girls that remind me of them. And so that would be like Jessie J and Fantasia and freaking Joss Stone, man. I would like Joss Stone would be my dream collaboration. Like she's my favorite. Her, Jessie J, and Fantasia. Those are like my top three.
Nice. I once saw Fantasia on a tribute to Patti LaBelle.
Yeah.
And boy, and Patti loved her. She was the real deal.
Yeah, I just
So what
did
I'm wondering.
a Patti LaBelle tribute last Tuesday, actually.
Okay. So if you
Yeah.
could, work with Jesse J or some of these people, like if you compiled your dream tour, either you were opening for someone established or you shared the bill, what would be like your dream tour with what other artists?
I definitely say I'd love to open for Fantasia. And one of the other reasons why is because Fantasia has a movement called the Rock Soul movement. And it's kind of like me as well because, like, I can't identify with one genre. And so, like, I'm not soul and I'm not rock and I'm not pop and I'm just all of these different things. And so I think it'd be a perfect fit because I love to rock out, but I love to bring the soul and the gospel side to it.
Well, I can definitely see why you like Tina Turner, because I always liked how she brought the rock and roll to the soul.
Yes. Yeah, all of my favorites.
So on your medicine, what genres would you say you have elements of in that song?
So technically, your medicine would be more of like a pop, rock, urban song. All of those things. Pop, rock, urban, that's so funny.
So what is like an existing song that you would compare to say, it reminds like you a little bit of this song or that song?
Well, actually, your medicine was inspired by one of the Jonas Brothers' new songs. I think it's called Sucker.
Okay.
It's actually pretty popular on the radio right now, but yeah, Sucker by the Jonas Brothers kind of inspired your medicine. And yeah, I know I wanted my first single to be something that was not a ballad because I know that like my second single, that's going to be a ballad because my fans they love to hear me sing that way. But I know I wanted this first single to be something that was upbeat that I could dance to and show all of my gifts because I don't want to just be in that ballad box,
Sure. So it's nice to have that comparison to say, it's not the same, but it's an entry point saying, hey, if you like this Jonas Brothers song, give this one a try.
Yeah.
So at least it's a starting point. Well, so your follow-up ballad, do you have that planned? Do you have the title of it? Is it an original?
Yes, it is an original, and the second single is titled Save Me From Myself, and that would be coming end of September is the goal.
Okay.
And yeah, that's gonna be a big one too. Medicine's gonna be huge. This is what I've been saying. Your medicine is the appetizer. Save Me From Myself is the meal, and the EP in November is the whole restaurant.
Sounds like you got it all planned out.
Oh man, you have to have it planned out in this business. It's all about being organized and strategic and executing, and yeah. So we have my schedule made all the way through 2020.
Wow. Well, I love that because nowadays you really do have to plan releases in advance. Well, before we wrap up here, and I could talk to you all day because you're very inspiring. Love your message.
Oh, thank you, man.
But let's just real quickly so we don't forget. Repeat again, like where people can find you online, whether it's your website, your Instagram. Where can they find you?
So I'm most active on Instagram. My Instagram is @story of Alonzo, and that's Alonzo ALONZO. And I have Facebook, and my website is iamalonzo.com, and all of the links are on my website as far as like my social media. But really, Instagram is where I'm usually posting everything in my day-to-day and what's coming up next. And again, that link to the pre-order for your medicine is right at the top of my Instagram.
I have to say Instagram is a good starting point because you're very visual. You definitely have a lot of style. You put a lot into your wardrobe, how you look. I did. so
I
do you have fun
that.
with the wardrobe? Yeah, it sounds like that's a big part of your concert.
It's so funny because I am you probably don't even believe me, but I actually hate clothes, and I am not into fashion at all. But being an artist, it's kind of like it's been forced onto you. Kind of with social media as well, because I could care less about social media, but it's been forced on us because it's kind of impossible to have like a career with no social media. And so it's just these things that, I've become really good at, like social media, and I have some cool people that help me get dressed, and I just look good in clothes, so it works.
There's one really cool little video clip, and I'm guessing this is from the For You Symphony Tour, but you had this big mohawk, black leather, the spikes. Who created that look for you?
That was my China tour, I think you're talking about, because I toured China for 4 years. And I toured China between 2013 through 2015. I had sold out 4 tours in China. And that's when I used to really like wear spikes and all kinds of things. Because, I always used to tell people in the Asian market, they already don't know what you're saying. So you at least got to give them something to look at. And so the show was super visual, and I had a lot of success over there for that reason.
Well, that's exciting because, and besides there, I mean, you're from Illinois, then you moved out to L.A.? So it sounds like you're
Rockford, Illinois.
And what's been your favorite place so far?
As far as like traveling?
Living,
like touring.
inspiring. Yeah, what's inspired you the most?
You know what? I love LA, man. I love LA. LA is definitely. I just literally told someone this yesterday. It was the best choice I ever made, and I'm cool with not having any snow.
So, what are the best places that you've performed in LA?
I can't necessarily say there's a favorite place. I mean, I'm at so many clubs, like 4 or 5 days a week sometimes. I'm at so many different places. I was just at the W Hotel in Hollywood last night performing. That was so awesome.
Nice.
And I'm
it
at
seems like you gotta be.
Thursday.
Well, you're at this unique position where you can still play the smaller gigs and be selective, but once you kind of hit and maybe start opening for Fantasia, you won't be able to do the smaller gigs.
And I'm looking forward to that too. I mean, some places they're my family, so I'll always stop in and say hey. And LA is one of those places where we have big names always snooping around and sneaking in. And so I'm totally going to be stopping into these places still. But I am claiming that Fantasia tour one day for sure.
I think if you set your mind to it, it'll happen. Well, Fantasia, if you're listening to this, Alonzo needs to open for you. That's all there is to it.
Yes. That's all there is to it, Fantasia. I got you.
Well, I want to give you the final word here, and I just want to come back to your Free of Fear, and just through your Free of Fear movement, what's been some of the best feedback you've heard from someone who said, Alonzo, I heard your message, you got me through a rough patch, you've inspired me. What's a really nice word of encouragement you've heard from someone?
I think the most encouraging thing is just that people, they feel like they can relate and they don't feel alone. you know, a lot of times when you're going through things in your own life, you feel like it's only you that's going through that, you know. You feel like, it's my fault or this is what's happening and there's nothing that I can do about this. And so sometimes it helps to know that, oh, wow, so-and-so is feeling the same way, or so-and-so had a similar life experience as me. And so when it happens to be someone like me that is, you know, a public figure and that, you know, you might be inspired by, it really, really, really puts things into perspective. And I always tell people, if I can do it, you definitely can, because I have let fear run my life for a long time. And so I think it's really important to spread this message right now. And when I say free of fear, it's not, you know, always about just taking risks, but it's about, you know, not being afraid to love and to be happy and to fight for what you believe in. And it goes all across the board, because literally fear like runs our lives, you know. We see fear right now running our administration, and these are the things that we need to be standing up for. And when you're free of fear, you are free to make choices, and those choices can be better for us and mankind.
Well, Alonzo, it sounds like you're really living your message, and you're just being a great example for people. So I wish you lots of success, and I'm going to be looking at iTunes on July 31st, looking at you charting.
Yes, and don't forget to pre-order.
Yeah, and I'm going to encourage everyone to pre-order your medicine, and let's really help Alonzo get to the top of the charts.
Yes. Yes, yes,
all right.
Yes. It will jumpstart everything.
Well, I wish you the best. I love talking to you, and I want you to have a great day, Alonzo.
Thank you, man. You too. I'm about to head to the gym.
Okay. Well, take care.